A lot of competitions going on, but there's one big game that really stands out this weekend. Chelsea against Man United. It's at Stamford Bridge. I'm lucky enough to be there. I'll be in that press box right next to the two benches. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, the favorite sort of ground to go to, because the fans are all around you. You're basically sat 2 seats behind the benches. You can see what's going on. And usually that brings out, I think, the best in the managers as well. It's no coincidence there's been quite a lot of scraps over the years at Stamford Bridge on that particular sideline. So thoughts on this, Nick? I mean, tactically, it's going to be pretty intriguing. I think Chelsea, under Graham Potter, they've really adapted well to his tactics. Obviously, Kepa's been excellent in goal. That's helped them in recent weeks. But then Man United saw more high pressing against Tottenham in midweek. But generally, they're much better on the counter-attack when they're playing away from home like this. So they've done well against Chelsea recently as well. So there's a lot to think about when these two teams meet. And they're both in pretty good form.
I'll give you one more thing to think about. Could this be the first game of a real reignition of a rivalry that maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago was so sensational to watch? And I ask this because you know how much I believe in Graham Potter. I've been talking about this for a couple of years now. I think he could be there for a long time. He's a new owner's first hire. I think Ten Hag is a fantastic boss. And as we mentioned earlier in the Ronaldo segment, he's clearly got them pointed in the right direction. I think this has all the pieces, including two teams in relatively good form. I know Chelsea didn't have its best day against Brentford, but it still had plenty of chances, and David Raya was fantastic. So I think this could be – I'm geared up for this. Is a funny thing to say as a neutral regarding these two teams. I think this could be a lot of fun to watch, and a lot of components that buzzworthy players can become more buzzworthy. Jadon Sancho can make his news here. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. Andy, when we look at United, I mean, they're 9 Premier League games unbeaten against Chelsea, which is quite some record when you think about them over the last few years. They've had 2 tough games against Newcastle at home, and then Tottenham spent a lot of energy. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see how they set up under Erik Ten Hag and maybe what changes he makes to the team, because right now, back 4, midfield, attack, it all seems very settled for United, but can they keep rolling out every 3 days with that kind of intensity?
That's the big question, and I think a lot of this game will kind of be played out, I think, before it even kicks off, and when Ten Hag decides how he's going to set this team up. It worked against Spurs to press the way that they did because Spurs are so incredibly slow on the ball. They don't have a midfield ball progressor. They don't have a midfield playmaker. They're down to 2 forwards now because of injuries, and so they don't have someone to release the pressure on the back line in the midfield, and yet they tried to play it out and pass it out of the back every single time anyway. And what happened? The youthful energy of Manchester United's attack, Antony on one side, Jadon Sancho on the other, Marcus Rashford there, Bruno Fernandes in the middle, 4 very mobile players suddenly making up that attacking unit for United. They were able to cause a lot of problems there. And if you're winning the ball 30, 40 yards from goal with that kind of quality in attack, you're going to create really good scoring chances. But at the same time, I think Chelsea have all of the players and the system in place to play through, play around, but however they decide to go about beating the press of United, I don't think it's quite established the way that it needs to be a really dominant press yet. And so I do see this kind of game leaning a little bit towards Chelsea for the fact that I think that they know a little bit more who they are, even though they've not had their manager for quite as long as United have. I just think that the pieces fit a little bit better there right now. And we've seen some good performances from them. They really, really withstood a lot in the first half against Brentford. They could have been 1-0, 2-0, maybe 3-0 down in the first half. And they showed, I think, a toughness defensively that I personally questioned whether that would exist with Graham Potter as a coach. The way that they want to play, the way that they have come from playing under Thomas Tuchel, and it seems like they've kind of put those two things together in a pretty positive way. And I think that makes them really dangerous for the rest of the season.
Yeah, me too. I think you never quite know what you're going to get with Chelsea lineup-wise, personnel. I mean, Aubameyang and Sterling on the bench midweek. You think they're going to come into the lineup? Mason Mount has been really good in recent weeks, and sort of that free role, just floating around, scoring, assisting. And yeah, it's defensively, I think for Chelsea is the only kind of issue I have against the pace of this United team on the counter. Koulibaly, Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Chalobah. which of those players play. Do you even play Cucurella as a left-sided centre-back in a 3 maybe in this kind of game? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And yeah, Graham Potter always keeps us guessing with his team selection, but it's worked so far. He's unbeaten as Chelsea's manager. And Nick, your score prediction for this game at the Bridge this weekend?
At the Bridge is going to be the difference. So I'm going to go Chelsea 2-1.
Andy?
Exactly the same. So I'll say 3-2. More exciting.
I'm going 2-1 Man United. I'm fully aboard the Eric Ten Hag bandwagon. I think just it sets up pretty well. Just looking at how well they've done against Chelsea the last few seasons, and now they're going into it with a bit of confidence. I think they're going to get it done. But Chelsea fans, obviously, in the comments will, as Nick said, give me pelters for that. So head over to PST for the latest ahead of Chelsea Man United. We've got predicted lineups, how to watch information, team news. Big game. I'll be giving live analysis as well from Stamford Bridge this weekend. So make sure to join us for that. Massive game when these two teams meet. Nick, you're right. In the past years in the Premier League, it's been a huge rivalry. Hopefully it gets back to that stage. And both these teams are pushing really hard to cement their spot in the top 4 this season at the very least. So it's going to be a good one when Chelsea host Manchester United.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.